With Ritualist's Awakening Mask being buffed, I wanted to make a video for Ritualist. Ritualist has 3 masks: Lunatic Mask, Fanatic Mask, and the Coward Mask. Lunatic Mask increases your damage, reduces your aura cost, and lowers your walk speed by a small amount. Fanatic increases your defenses, reduces your totem cost, and lowers your damage. Coward increases your walk speed, reduces your mobility spell cost, and lowers your defenses. Each of the masks has their own special thing, like Hymn of Hate for Lunatic, made so whenever you kill a mob with aura, a new aura is spawned and it deals 50% of your original aura's damage. So is just some bonus damage for killing mobs with your aura. Mask of the Fanatic has Seeking Tome. While wearing the Mask of the Fanatic, your totem will move towards the nearest enemy outside of its range, as well as Chant of the Fanatic. Chant of the Fanatic is just a huge resistance buff to all your allies, lasts about 3 seconds, and it has an 8-second cooldown. So by the next time that you swap to your Fanatic Mask, you should be able to get the resistance buff again. Pairing that buff with the amount of defense that you get from wearing the Fanatic by itself, you're above 100%, which I don't know if that means you still take damage or not. I'll have to see. You get plus 100% resistance. It's for 3 seconds, but it's something. And Coward, after casting Haul, the Frog Dance, while wearing the Mask of the Coward, Haul will bounce you off the ground 3 times at an increasing speed and will deal damage to nearby enemies. Coward Mask also has its own chant when switching to the Mask of the Coward, damage and knock nearby enemies away. This one's pretty nice, 200%. The damage is a nice little bonus. You knock nearby enemies away. Of course, you can only knock back enemies that take knockback. Some bosses don't, like Greg. Most bosses don't take knockback, so you won't be getting much out of that, but there's a lot of other minions that will be very convenient for you to knock away with your Mask of the Coward. And of course, the Holy Grail, Mask of the Awakened. After saving 200 mana from your mask's mana reductions, that's the Lunatic reduces aura cost, Fanatic reduces totem cost, and Coward reduces your haul cost. After saving 200 mana from your masks, casting Uproot will equip the Mask of the Awakened for 20 seconds, giving you the power of all the masks at once with no downsides. So you don't get the lower walk speed from Lunatic, you don't get the lower damage from Fanatic, and you no longer get the lower defense from the Mask of the Coward. You get all of their bonuses, increased damage, defense, and walk speed, plus all of their small abilities. So Mask of the Awakened is pretty fun. Let me show you how the masks work real quick. So with Fanatic, or with Lunatic, casting your totem costs 19 normally, but if I was to switch to Fanatic, it costs way less. Each time I cast Totem, my awakening bar goes up, because my mana cost from casting Totem is being reduced. Coward, Haul gets me mana from Awakening. Switching to Lunatic Mask, casting Aura will get me the Awakening bar. For the most part, you're going to be hanging on to the Lunatic Mask because it increases your damage. Pretty nice. You're just going to... This build in specific is Tierstack, so it works out with Lunatic Mask, because if you just spam the hell out of left click, press right click once, you're casting an Aura, and it happens instantly. So you're doing your damage, and you're getting your Awakening cost up. Get all the way over here. You're now at a 200. You cast it again, and now you have the Awakened Mask for 20 seconds. Everything is reduced in cost. You have Frog Jump, and of course, you have the bonus damage from Lunatic, bonus resistance from the Fanatic Mask, and a high walk speed from the Mask of Coward. It's fun, alright? It's very fun. I wanted to show that first because the build itself isn't really anything special. Showing off what Ritualist can do felt more important to me. The build that I'm using is a Tierstack with the End, has some good lifesteal. The build has some pretty nice walk speed, and it does like meh damage. It's a fast hybrid essentially with the Ritualist Flare. The rest of the items are Doomstorm, very nice for the End. Good SPP, some main attack. You lose some health, so obviously you can see my health is very low in this build, but that's okay. Dawn Dash gets you some good main attack damage, strength, walk speed, and earth and air damage, as well as a good amount of HP. Physalis is an attack speed item, gets you some SP. Revenant is a pretty irreplaceable mythic boot. Making a build without this would be pretty weird. It gets you a lot of walk speed. It gives you both of the elements that you need for damage. It gives you raw main attack. Unfortunately, the main attack percent isn't that bad of a deal because the weapon itself is just slow. It's not super slow, so you're not really getting much out of that ID to begin with, but it's still pretty unfortunate. Better is better. Revenant isn't that expensive for a mythic boot, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. You could probably buy something very similar to what I got for under a stack, 32 LE. You could buy slightly worse for 16 to 20. It's not that expensive. Honestly, Revenant is pretty underestimated, which is fortunate for you, fortunate for me, so I'm trying to buy a nice one. The accessories are Breeze Hands, some attack speed, Flash Fire Knuckle and Gauntlet for some more attack speed. You get some walk speed out of it as well, and Recalcitrance. The negative health from this is very unfortunate, but the attack speed, strength, and earth damage are very nice. And that's the build. The damage on this build is pretty meh. It's Tierstack, but at the same time, it's not nearly as comfortable as like the Archer Tierstack video I just made. It's definitely unique in terms that it's a fast hybrid rather than a pure Tierstack, so we're actually using spells with this build in order to take advantage of full Ritualist and the Mask of Awakening. This build also has some healing as well as lifesteal, so there is a bit of sustain. Good defenses, so the damage that you will... So if you do take damage, you take reduced damage. It's not like your defenses are low. Like, obviously there's something here. This build is the non-expensive, more health version of the other build that I'll personally be using that uses Panic Zealot. It's going to be in the description if you want to check it out. It's Cancelstack, and it's pretty interesting. But yeah, that's Ritualist. I'm going to show you some gameplay, and hopefully it goes well enough for me. I don't know if this does enough damage. I died. I don't know what to say. I think Tierstack Ritualist might be failed build idea number 2. Yeah, the build just didn't work. It did damage so slowly, and I was attempting to cheese it the entire way through, but Orange Cybele managed to take me out after using his jump moves that did a lot of damage. This build definitely could be improved. I'm gonna try it out with Panic Zealot. There's a Panic Zealot Cancelstack build that I'm gonna try out, but this one by itself is very meh. It's definitely not the route. I don't know, I wanted to give it a try. I saw the build idea. It was very interesting, but it's just not good. It does no damage. The healing, I'm not even gonna rely on my totems for healing. So it's like, I'm just gonna use healing potions. Like, what? What's going on, man? Now, I'm not gonna mark it off completely just yet. I want to use that Panic Zealot build just once to see how it works, but one of the items is ridiculously expensive because it's a level 80 rare chestplate, and level 80 items are just the most ridiculous item to get. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry it was a disappointing video. I didn't intend for this to be failed build idea number 2, but yeah, I'll come back to you for any interesting ritualist builds. Summoner video will be pretty soon. I have a bunch of ideas coming. I need to make a loot run video. I have ideas. I'll be back. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video. Just kidding. This video's not that hopeless. Let's theorize a little bit, alright? There's a few other weapons we can use for this very idea. One, there's Aftershock. Aftershock actually does some pretty good damage for the Tierstack idea. Another option is, instead of using Distant Grasp, we're going to use Hand of the Shaman to get some extra beams, which makes your DPS better. But doing this makes it so it's harder for you to condense your shots from a further distance away, so you have to play closer. What this means is, depending on who you're fighting, you'll do more DPS, and if something does, obviously you'll be taking a lot more damage, you're going to die a little bit easier by doing this, but you'll do more damage, so it really depends on what you want. This is an option that you have. It works very well against Candy the Colossus. I've seen Tierstack Shamans before. Obviously, it's a dumb idea, but it does work. So for this example, if we use Hand of the Shaman, whenever you get really close to the boss, you'll be able to hit all your extra beams. So you'll get the bonus damage, right? And you'll do a lot of damage. There's that idea. Obviously, for everything besides a standstill boss, Distant Grasp is the more reliable option. It also lets you play much farther away, taking advantage of your walk speed, but obviously using this makes you do less damage, so it's a trade-off that you really need to make. I have an Aftershock build in the video description. I also have my Panic Zealot Cancelstack, which is more of a fast hybrid. It gets a bit more damage from the spell casts, like Aura. You'll be getting a bit more damage from that. Also, the regeneration is double as fast with Panic Zealot's Major ID, so you'll actually be able to heal with it. Also, the tech damage from your totems does double with Panic Zealot, so it works out pretty effectively for passive damage. And all of your spells cost 1, so there's no spell casting issues. You can spam the hell out of Aura, so the spell damage will actually function for Panic Zealot. The issue is you're going to be doing less damage with your main attack. You might be able to get away with using the larger spread, which makes it just better in general, so you'll have the mob clearing potential, and you'll also have the spell spam potential. So the Panic Zealot spell stack build will be in the description. I'll make a video on it, I'll make a short video on it whenever I do make it eventually. But before that, obviously I'm going to make a summoner video, so not going to be for another minute. But yeah, it's not completely hopeless. The failed build idea is mostly just this build by itself. I was thinking maybe this build would be able to function for a larger group of people, but it's unfortunately just really bad. So it's not actually a good build for everyone to use. Obviously, I'm going to put this build in the description if you're interested. You might be able to use it better than me. I don't know. I gave it literally 1 try, so there's definitely some potential that you can get out of it. If you want more walk speed, there's a pants alternative that you can use. Gets you some more HP as well. There's different stuff to try out. It's not completely hopeless. That's what I'm trying to get across here. But yeah, that's the video. Thanks for watching for the second time, and I'll see you in the next one.